And that's what Marx did. Marx hated the rich. But I want to read you a quote from Marx. So all of you who believe that paying taxes is patriotic, this comes from this book here, the Capitalist Manifesto, and this book here, the Communist Manifesto. It says here, a heavy or progressive or graduated income tax is necessary for the proper development of communism. Let me read it again to you. This is Marx's words. If you want to verify, just read this book here, okay? It says, a heavy or progressive or graduated income tax is necessary for the proper development of communism. And that's what's happening in America. So if you want to be a communist, you stay on this side here. You want to be a capitalist, you come to this side here. And again, Rich Dad's World offers you opportunities to understand this side, not this side here. So anyway, that's why Tom is one of my go-to guys, because the less tax I pay, the more capitalistic I become, the freer I become. Any comments on that, Tom? So anyway, with that said, you can still fight back by getting rich, not paying any taxes legally. So Tom, what are tax codes? You call them incentives, but what do you mean by incentives? And that's because Wall Street gets rich.
That's right.
And if you remember something, the Federal Reserve Bank is there to do one thing, protect the banks. So when Biden took out the Keystone XL pipeline, I'm an oil guy. I went to school, I worked for Standard Oil. I drill for oil. When he did that, I said he just screwed America, because when the price of oil goes up, the poor get poor because they can't afford to live. So they try and raise their prices. You know, I want $15 an hour. Not that it's going to save them, because they just pay more tax. And then the middle class has a harder time because they're paying more tax also. And that's what happens when you go to a school like my poor dad. My poor dad was head of education for the state of Hawaii. Very good man, but I hate to say this. He was a Marxist. And in 1965, when I went to the academy, I read this book here. It was eye-opening. So anyway, that's why I speak and I teach. The way to fight back against Marxism is financial education, because that's what Marx did not understand. When I read Marx's background, he was just like my poor dad. Very intelligent man, highly academic, hated the rich, just like my poor dad hated my rich dad. It's a classic case of Marxist versus, or a communist versus a capitalist. So what Tom and I are capitalists. Would you say that's true, Tom?
Absolutely.
And just remember this one definition of a capitalist. A capitalist will teach somebody to fish. A Marxist will give people. Very, very big difference there. You can become a capitalist, make more money, and pay less taxes legally. And the good thing is, as I started this whole program, this is not just in America. It's all over the world, right, Tom?
Everywhere. Everywhere we've been, Robert.
Everywhere. But they'll never teach you that. And if your friends are academic types, they'll say, well, that's you're a crook. You can't do that. So, yeah. And this is book number 2, the Cash Flow Quadrant. These are the guys that cheat. Why do they cheat? Because they have to cheat. Do they have much escape, Tom? Yeah. An interesting thing is these guys here can do this.
They can.
If they have a good attorney also, right?
Right.
So that's why I have Garrett Sutton, and he's our attorney. But you have to act like these people. You can't act like these.
That's right.
Is that correct? You can shift your thinking over to this side here and do it legally. Like I said, I'm from Hawaii. I didn't want to go to jail and dance to hula for some other guy. You know what I mean? I just don't want to do that. And it's more fun because once I understood what Tom was saying as my guide through this process, I make more money. I have more fun. I have more freedom. It's just incredible. So, Tom, would you explain what you mean with tax code? How many pages of tax code are there? Because you have to take care of people. Whereas what capitalism does, capitalism gave the poor and the middle class a chance to rise up. It was the American dream. So capitalism, even if you're poor, even if you have nothing, even if you didn't go to school, you can be any race, any gender, you can still become rich. That's capitalism. So with that said, so we fight back with education. If you want to be a capitalist and a freedom fighter throughout the world, it's not just America, I would understand what Tom does, because we fight for freedom. So I'll read it again. A heavy, or as Tom said, progressive. Oh, I'm making $15 an hour now. Will they pay more tax or less tax, Tom?
More.
And what happens to our national debt?
It keeps going up.
Yeah, that's why they have to keep doing this. And that's where our school system has no financial education in it. That's why I use debt, because debt is tax-free. If I don't borrow money, no money is created, because money is created out of debt. And so I get tax incentives for being in debt. But yet guys like Dave Ramsey, he's a good guy, he's a friend of mine, and his advice is good for the average person with no financial education. Live debt-free. It's good advice, right, Tom?
Absolutely.
You should live debt-free if you're an idiot. But if you're a capitalist, you want as much debt as you possibly get legally, right, Tom? So with that said, the reason we have Rich Dad's World is if you want to find out how to come over here legally, and this is worldwide. You could be in Mexico, Korea, Canada, Europe, Africa, you can come here. But you do need the education to do it legally. Because Tom, it's not, you don't have to do it illegally, do you? But the poor middle class has to have the education.
They do.
You want to stay on this side here, the Marxist side, get a college education. You become an accountant or an attorney or a doctor. Think about this, a doctor makes $1 million a year, pays $600,000 in taxes. Oh God, oh God. But over here, as an inside investor, there's no stocks, no bonds, no mutual funds, no ETFs, I can pay zero. And that's why I need Tom for it.
Small ebook, big impact, the wealth tree. The only 4 ways that will make you financially free forever. Download it here for free.